don't know where the truth
is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
Chief Concerns is presented by BetOnline and Olipop. Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. It's football season, and you know what that means? It means it's time to get in on BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Come on, baby. Go. 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 Yes. That's a first down. That's a first down. That's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn. JD, how we doing, brother?
What's up, man? Can you hear me now? Is it working?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can also hear myself too, like pretty clearly.
Right. We've been working on technical difficulty for the past 15 minutes, probably. So you can hear yourself? You said?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn.
It's pretty clear.
All right. What about now? Can you hear
Yes.
yourself?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you clearly.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Then we're good. It's kind of working. That's what we wanted to do. All right.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. I got something else. Hold on.
So tonight we are dealing with some technical difficulties a little bit, guys. But we are multicasting tonight from Twitter and YouTube tonight. So the first time we'll be doing both Twitter live and a YouTube live at the same time.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
So we're got a big audience tonight.
Man, I should have known that, man. I don't think I had that on my paper, but that's we good. We're ready to rock and roll, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So sorry about that, guys. I know you guys are hearing me double in this episode tonight, but hopefully we'll try to take care of that. But JD, how we doing, brother?
Good. How's it going?
Good, man. I cannot complain. It's a big week 3 matchup that we're going to be going on over tonight. A lot of stuff in this one.
All right. Everybody says it sounds like I'm far away. Okay. So
I think I can hear you pretty good.
you can. They probably can't. So can y'all hear? What about now? Can y'all hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, I think so. I can barely hear JD.
The chat is the one. What
Yeah,
about
much
chat?
better. Yeah, Ghost Hunter says it's much better now. That's better.
Okay. All right. We'll go with it. We'll
There
go
you
with
go.
it. Let it roll.
But so yeah, obviously a lot to get into tonight. I'm seeing a lot. Yeah, everyone. We have a big chat tonight. We already have 100 people in the chat, JD. Tonight, so we have a lot of people tonight. So it's going to be a big time one tonight. So we got the YouTube audience and the Twitter audience. So a lot of numbers coming in here tonight. So if you're new to Chief Concerns, you have myself and you have former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn here with all the knowledge.
Good, good. We're gonna make this thing work. We're gonna make this thing pop and make it work right now. Good to see everybody. Okay, everybody that's on Twitter, everybody here that's on in YouTube checking us out. Barbershop, good to see you, Richie Hall. Hannah, sweetie, right there. She was trying to help me out a little bit with this whole thing. Chiefs chat with the guys. Laura, good seeing you, Laura. How you doing? Caroline Reinhardt, Wendy, Amda Brown, Andrea Chenault. What's going on? What's going down? A Ghost Hunter 1974, always good to see you. Pono, Kawhi, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Mike Brennan, always my guy. Always good seeing you. My brother always talk about you, Mike. He's always like, if Mike comes on, he always asks great questions. I'm like, guess who Mike is? Mike asks great questions on Twitter, too. So, Daniel Akers, hey, happy birthday. Is Wendy's birthday?
Wendy's birthday.
Wendy, happy birthday. Okay. Now look, I know my mic not be working, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wendy. Happy birthday to you. There you go. It's JD's rendition of
I like
happy
that.
birthday to you.
That was
All right?
nice.
Good. Charles Driver, my man, good seeing you. I hope you told Wendy happy birthday. Everybody else that's out there, good seeing you. Gary Hollard, I see you out here, my man. Good seeing you as well. So we're going to get this thing started, man. Talk about some good things that's going on in Chiefs Kingdom. This whole with Kareem Hunt, number 29, going, making it work, man. Look, this is going to be a good episode. It's going to be a great episode. Let's go. Let's get this thing popping, man.
So we got Sarah73. Glad you are broadcasting from X. Love you guys. Yep. Doing a little multicast tonight. We had to do it.
Love you back. Love you back, Sarah. 73. So
JD, you mentioned that we got a lot to get into tonight. The other night we talked about Kareem Hunt a little bit as Nostradamus came out for the first time this season. He predicted that Kareem Hunt would not be leaving Kansas City without a contract, and he did. He got his practice squad contract. So that was the last time we talked, and since then, practice squad is going to be wearing number 29. It will not be wearing number 27. So for all you Chief fans like myself who has number 27 Kareem Hunt jersey, you might have to get a number 29 one, but number 27 still works. Still nostalgic. It's a throwback jersey now. But obviously, it was a great moment for Chiefs Kingdom to have Kareem Hunt back in Kansas City, to be able to, come around full the 360 from 6 years ago. Andy Reid spoke about it today, but it was pretty nice. It was also cool to see. I didn't know this, but apparently Kareem Hunt and Mahomes have stayed together since they were drafted. They were the same draft class, 2017, and they've stuck. They've been still friends. And Kareem Hunt was actually attended Mahomes' wedding in 2022, which is a little nugget that Andy Reid said today during his press conference. But JD, obviously, with that, Hunt was on the practice field today. And then also at the same time, Pacheco had his successful surgery today, no complications and no ligament damage. So that was a good thing as well. Sticking to the 6 to 8 week timeline, as that's what, was reported today. But this Sunday, we may see Kareem Hunt. We don't know. Andy Reid said the possibility, but it seems like it's going to be a Carson Steele, Samaje Perine show. So I have a few questions, which we've seen in the chat already tonight. A lot of people are wondering who's going to be the guy. Is it going to be Carson Steele, Samaje Perine? How's it going to look back there? So my question is, who do you think is going to be the guy this weekend between the two of them? And what happens when Kareem Hunt is ready to play? And what happens when potentially CEH comes back off the NFI list? Because that's going to be a pretty crowded running back room. So let's just take a step by step. Who's the main guy this weekend between Carson Steele and Samaje Perine?
To be honest with you, I think this week you got to let them both run. And so Carson Steele, from what he's done during preseason and this past game, he's earned his time to get some carries in this offense. He's been very impressive since he's been here. Andy didn't like him, and he runs hard. He does a great job going north and south. He doesn't really give you a whole lot, but he does have a little bit of wiggle in his hips. He was a running back in college, so that's the thing about him. Wasn't just a fullback. We give him the fullback, name here, but he was a running back, and he was a very effective running back. And we've seen that in preseason and this last game. Obviously, people might go back to when he fumbled, but Andy and those guys trust him and gave the ball right back to him. And so we look at Carson Steele kind of like the whole mix of like a all-star, if you will, a guy that runs hard. My brother was talking about it. We named this guy a couple of weeks ago in John Riggins, somebody that is a north to south runner, runs hard, doesn't go down, real easy. I think he brings that to the table. As far as like Sanjay Perine, we know, he's a guy he's been in the league. He's got a lot of experience, and he's done really well in Cincinnati back behind Joe Mixon. And when Joe Mixon was down, Perine came in and stepped in and did a great job. So I like Perine a lot. He's a much better, pass blocker. He gets out there in the flat. He can catch the ball extremely well. And he can get north and south. He can go east and west. So we have very capable backs. That's going to get a look this week. And I think you might look at it maybe 50-50. It just depends. And, you know how it is also, too. If a guy starts going, he starts moving around, starts getting a lot of yards, you just got to let him work. And so if he gets tired, the other guy comes in. But these two guys, man, are absolutely capable. Now, let's get into the man of the hour who just got in Kansas City, okay? Our guy coming back home, Kareem Hunt, right? We done said bygones be bygones. Hey, we done did it like this. Hey, the slate is clean. Wash it out. The slate is clean, okay? He's matured. The guys are happy he's in there. Patrick is happy he's back behind him. And he said he stepped there to the wedding. So he's family. He's been here. He's been family. Does he have ability to come and play this week? Possibly. I think they want to see. That's why they put him on practice squad, because they don't quite know what type of shape he's in. And so he did come in slim. Marcus, we were just talking about it. We was just like, hopefully it looked like he was eating Funyuns and Doritos on the couch watching football, telling like, that's what I used to do, telling, the family and the neighbors, that he's Kareem Hunt of old. But my thing is, if he's in shape, he's going to get a little bit of look. I don't think it's going to be a significant amount of play. If he ever comes out to play, I think, just it's going to give him time. So maybe let's say you give him practice squad just to see where he is, maybe a week. Okay. So let's just say this week right here, you decide to get him ready. And you just like, look, we don't quite need him against Atlanta. I think we got enough right now, what we have with Atlanta. And just let him get involved. Let him get everybody, let's get him back into the swing of things. But if you do bring him back, you got to give him a couple of carries here and there, man. He's going to be so excited. I tell you what, when I seen him do the kickoff return, he started running. That joker looked like he was tired already, but he came back. I was like, he might need to be on practice squad for about a week at least. So it's going to be like riding a bike to him. Running backs are those guys that, you could bang them and hit them around, different things like that, man. They'll do what they need to do. If they need to tap the helmet to come out, they will. And so that's a good thing about it, because we got two other guys we just mentioned, in Carson Steele and Sanjay Perine, that if he needs to come in, we'll let him. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that he looked as slim as he did. I think the Tasia made the joke that he might be on Ozempic or whatever. But he looked great. I mean, guy's been out of football for 6 months. I mean, since the season ended. So but obviously he stayed trim and he was ready to go when a team called upon him. And I just think when we talk about that, the storybook kind of narrative that we have here with Kareem Hunt coming back to right the wrongs of the past, to have redemption. And I think I've cued it, JD, as we're hunting for that three-peat. The Kansas City Chiefs are hunting for that three-peat with this addition of Kareem Hunt at this point, in this juncture. And with Pacheco's injury, I mean, 6 to 8 weeks, he just had surgery and, it's 2 months. But if the running back room looks good without him, maybe we don't need to rush him back. Maybe if the Steele, Perine, and Hunt kind of trio, and then that's what begs the question: when CEH comes back, if he comes back, and obviously his first time can be right after week 4, but we don't know what's going to happen, because it's not the thing with CEH's injury. And I've seen a lot of people talk about when CEH comes back, Hunt's probably going to be cut. It's like, I mean, we don't know really, because when CEH comes back, he may not come back, because with the PTSD, what he's going through, you can't really put a timetable on that. That's a mental thing he's working with.
And also too, the element of just being in shape, being in game shape, is important as well. So I think that's why it's very, when we think about Kareem Hunt, this guy hadn't had a carry. He's been at home during the whole off season. Nobody signed him. And so I always go back to this, man. Look, practice shape and game shape is two different things. It's two different things, man. Two totally different things. And so if you haven't really been getting hit, your body starts to soften up. And so, especially for the running backs, you're going to get hit all the time once you have the football. Once you have the football, you got 11 guys running after you. Not to mention the guys who are going to pile on trying to block for you. And so just carrying that physicality, man, is taxing on a body. And so that's where you have to find out exactly where he is physically. I don't think it's a problem if nobody's tackling him in practice. He may look good, but getting that initial hit, that's something totally different. It's totally different. Like they said, you always got a game plan until you get hit in the mouth, right? There's famous words from our guy, Mike Tyson. And so that's the reality. So it's the same thing with CEH. CEH has to come back from, where he is with the whole mental aspect, but he's still got to get into shape. He's got to get in game shape. And so that, I would say that's probably one of the hardest positions to get ready physically at is the running back. And so those guys, man, I tell you what, man, I have just a great amount of respect for what they had to go through, the fortitude, how you just have to mold your body, forge it over time with all the hits and everything. That is only taken and given when you get the hits. And so I think, man, with CEH and Kareem Hunt, it is one of those things. Time would just tell. So we'll just have to see with Kareem, man, where he's going to be at with this thing too, man. So we'll see.
Do you think when, let's say, give it a week or two, let's say, he doesn't play this week, and if he does, it's like two, 3 carries. He's just trying to get his, get in game shape, like you said.
Yeah.
Do you think when 1 or 2 weeks from now, let's say, God forbid, everyone's healthy still, Steele, Perine, Kareem, and let's say CH is not back yet. Do you think there's going to be a main guy of those three, or they're going to ride with the hot hand and be pretty much a running back by committee?
I think running back by committee. And so when you do that, then it is all about, the hot hand. Not to mention, man, we and Witchy Hall just said that we brought Amani Bailey up. So we brought him off the practice squad. So he's a very capable running back too, right?
I believe it was Keontae Ingram. I believe it was Keontae
Ingram. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Ingram. Okay. So we brought Ingram up. So Ingram is a guy that we know is, he could play ball. So we had 3 guys that could definitely do it. They could carry the load if they need to, especially against, the Falcons. I don't think that is something that, we had to really worry about. Like you said, Carson Steele's been getting, good yards. Sanjay Perine is a proven vet. I think when you think about those things, you're going to be fine. Not to mention the passing the ball aspect. I think these guys are going to try to get back on the horse with this whole thing. With Kelsey not necessarily having a good day, Rice was the only one that's really eating. Worthy didn't really get a whole lot of balls. I think this week is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to necessarily see a team like the Ravens or the Bengals. Okay. Now the Falcons do have something to prove. They're trying to be an up-and-coming team. They're very young. They got some guys on the other side, man, that come and play ball. And so we understand what this whole thing is going to be about this week coming in. And look, the Falcons are thinking, well, look, the Chiefs just barely escaped the Bengals. Okay. We're ready. We're ready to get them. Heck, they just came off a big win with the Eagles. So for them, they're prime. They're prime. And so this is going to be down there, man, Atlanta. They're going to be ready for it. Matter of fact, I'm going to the game. I'm going to be down at the game this weekend. So,
I didn't know that. There you go.
Yeah. So it's going to be a good time, man. My brother Charles, man, he has season tickets with the Falcons. So we're going to go, and I'll probably get on the sideline, man, to go talk to a few people. And
there you go.
So
that's sweet. And I believe I think I read, because Arthur Blank is going into the Ring of Honor in Atlanta. I believe like everybody who's in attendance is getting like 2 free hot dogs and like 2 free drinks. Pretty much. I don't know what it was, but there's gonna be a lot of free stuff that day because of Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank ain't really? The Ring of Honor there, so it's like a celebratory thing going on in the stadium that night. So there you go, JD. Some free dogs.
Yeah, well, I'm not, something like that, man. I don't know if I eat no hot dog. I don't know how long it's been since I ate a hot dog, to be honest with you.
Hey, splurge a little bit. You go to Atlanta for a Sunday night game.
I don't trust that meat. There's certain thing I just ain't gonna do. So they can keep the hot dog. You know, but other than that, man, I think it'd be a good time. And anything I get with the Falcons on it, I'm gonna hand that to little kid or somebody that's like, hey man, go ahead and take it. So
There you go. There you go.
But I tell you what, man, we see some of these people, talking in the chat. I'm gonna address some of their issues and what they're talking about. Some things. So Alder Brown says, I personally was in favor of bringing Hunt back later before they decided on resigning Jerick McKinnon. I think for a sense I might have been, and I think it might have been the year before we got Pacheco, Alder Brown, because it was kind of little some contention there how everything was going to be, but Hunt was a guy that I liked a lot. McKinnon has been a solid guy for us the past few years. I mean, it's hard not to have a guy like him on our squad, really. So for me, he was that jackknife. He was the one that was doing it all, the Swift Army knife, if you will. Catch the ball, block. He's the best, block and running back we've seen in a long, long time, man. And I had to just give him his flowers, man. Congratulate him for the things he's done, the Kingdom. But I did. I was talking about Kareem Hunt a couple of years ago when I told you Jacoby Ford was coming in, eating in it. I'm like, we need to explore getting Kareem Hunt back here. Why not? So.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the Kareem Hunt thing for a while, and I know a lot of fans are like, oh no, Clark Hunt will never do that. We'll never do that. We'll never do that. Well, never. This is why people say never say never. That's why there's that famous adage there. Never say never. It's for reasons like this.
Yeah. Charles Driver says up here, see if you can see it, giving a guy a second chance is why guys will run through brick walls for Andy and company. I do agree. When you go through tough things in life and you disappoint people that you love, if you have a chance for redemption and there's some forgiveness there and there's a pathway to move forward, I think people are just appreciative of it. And I know Kareem Hunt will be very appreciative of this chance and opportunity he has with them. Like you said, man, he's shown contrition, very apologetic. But the reality is this. One of his worst moments got caught on film. How many of us have moments that we were not necessarily proud of that didn't get publicized, didn't get caught on film? And so sometimes we can, castigate a guy like Kareem Hunt, but what does that do for him, right? What does that show him, that we're just not forgiving people, that you don't give second chances? And Andy has done that. He's done it with several guys, right? We've seen it with Hill. We've seen it with Frank. The whole situation with Rasheed Rice. And when guys are in that mode of maturity, it's a maturation process. Sometimes you got to stick with guys. Guys got to learn. And sometimes guys got to learn the hard way. But I think with this reconciliation that they have with Kareem Hunt, I think, man, we're going to benefit ways we just didn't think it was. And so I'm glad he's here. I know the Chiefs are glad that he's here. You've seen that he's still friends with the guys that he played with, and they stayed in contact with him. So when you talk about that as family, we don't turn our back on our family. We just don't do that. And we should always have open arms, welcoming, right? And so when you talk about the prodigal son returns, this is the prodigal son. He's returning. And so the door is open. The Chiefs are happy to have him back. I'm so glad to see this happen. I am. I'm not gonna say it should have happened a long time ago. I think it happened when it was supposed to happen. And so I think right now, because of the circumstances, you just got to look at it that way. So, no, good. And guys will run through a brick wall for a guy like that. Okay. So Appreciate you saying that, Charles, because that's true.
Yeah. A barbershop. That's why I like the signing of Kareem. It's the redemption aspect. It's also the chip on his shoulder wanting to right his wrong. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well said. 100%.
Yeah, and the one thing that really bothers me too, I've seen some like pretty prominent Chiefs content creators out there tweet today saying like that has he really grown up? I saw one, I was like, and I've seen it in the comments here tonight. We were 23, 21, 22. We were young people. Everyone was doing dumb crap. And like you said, one of the lowest moments of his life was on film. And, I'm not giving him an out there, but like the judge,
No.
the comment was she's making official and bring back Kareem Hunt in the wake of Isaiah Pacheco's injury. Back in 2018, Casey waived Hunt due to an off-field incident involving him shoving and kicking a woman, which begs the question, do you believe people have the capacity to change? And I didn't really like that. I'm not going to say who it was from, but like, I didn't really like that tweet because like, yes, I believe that people have the capacity to change. But when you ask a question like that in a tweet like that, it's like, what are you implying? Are you implying that he didn't change? People like that can't change? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, how about they just turn the question on themselves?
Yeah.
Like I think it's a reflection, right? It's a reflection because this is our human experience. So anybody can look over their past when they was younger. And I see people talking about all the time, we all grow up 23, 22 years old, 24, whatever it may be. Hopefully you're not the same person you was at that time. Hopefully you grew into a better person and learned from the mistakes that you made. And so if anybody says that they haven't, and I'm just the man, then you need to take stock about who you are and what you're given here in life. So somebody asking that question, man, I mean, do you not think that there's no growth there? You don't think that people can change or grow or mature? Hopefully that's what we're trying to do in our entire lives. Hopefully that's what we're trying to do. That you're a better person than you was yesterday, right? That's character. Those are character traits that we got to get better at. And so, we do a Zoom meeting every Tuesday called Iron Sharpens Iron. Okay, it's about men coming together, about how we can be better for one another, for everybody out here in society, for our families, our friends, and one another. And how, when we're sitting out here, what should we do? How do we give back? And so it's important. It's important that we all have that. It's important that we are all shown grace and forgiveness, right? So ours is on, we're followers of Christ, man, and we believe in the love and redemption aspect. We believe in that. So, it's easy to throw people away. We ain't trying to throw people away. We ain't trying to do that. And I think if you're just throwing people away and that's an easy thing for you to do, then I think maybe your heart's the one that needs to change. So, and I'm not saying that, when somebody wrongs you and, I'm sure there's different levels on certain things that you got to use discernment for. But, sometimes if it's not a life and death situation or, put you in harm's way, I think that we can all get to a point of maybe somewhat of a forgiveness. And maybe some might have to be at arm's length with things. But Kareem Hunt, without a doubt, he's one of our guys, man. He's one of our guys. So,
and we're not saying, and the thing is like, by forgiving someone, it's not exonerating him of its past. He's grown up from the past, and like that's why the Chiefs cut him in the first place. As a punishment for what he did, and he went to Cleveland. And Andy Reid said it today. They checked in on him. They talked to the people in Cleveland, and he didn't have any relapses. What he was dealing with. I mean, he pretty much kept it clean. And just play football, keep your head down, and you'll have a job. And now he's back at Kansas City for keeping his head down for the last 6 years and being an upstanding citizen. And yeah, he's changed. I mean, so it's like, yeah, you don't forget the past, right? But you can forgive and move on, and that's
absolutely. Yeah, you could tell it affected him. And Family Man says, some mistakes really change people for the better. I know that personally. So here's a personal experience that he has. He talked about Hunt was crying when he got pulled over in Cleveland. He was hurt bad. He proved himself. He did. So if we rehab and there's therapy, it's therapeutic, for people. Because sometimes, as Andy said, man, maybe he just needed a different environment. Maybe you just need to get your head back together. Maybe you just need to, go back to the drawing board, okay? Understand what it is that you're doing and why you're trying to do it, right? And hopefully in that, you're wondering the people that you hurt, okay? And you want to ask forgiveness from them. But also, too, you want to move forward saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to wrong anybody else, okay? Especially myself. And so I don't want to sabotage my own happiness by doing things that I know is going to put me in harm's way or somebody else in harm's way. So Kareem Hunt has learned that, right? So we'll get into the whole morality of things, right? I think I know there is a play and a pathway for guys to get better and find each other where they need to be.
Yeah, and quite frankly, if he sticks it out here and he looks great, and obviously if the off the field stuff is corrected and he looks fine in the role, he's 29 years old, and like with the way Pacheco runs, and obviously we have Carson Steele, and he was as a fullback, right? Listed as a fullback, but like the McKinnon role, we won't have the person to do that anymore, and Hunt can be a little bit of the McKinnon role, and he could be a kind of a 1B to Pacheco's being the 1A of the backfield. Because, the way Pacheco runs, he's an aggressive guy. He's already hurt. We talked about the injuries coming into this year. And with the way he runs, he's susceptible to getting injuries. And to have Kareem Hunt play the same kind of role that he played for Nick Chubb and to come in here for the next 2 to 3 years, potentially. I think there's potential in Kareem Hunt sticking around for a couple of years in that kind of, backup role. And so I think there's definitely a place for that if he looks good. So, yeah.
No, look, he's when he's full board and he's ready to go, you're gonna see it. We're gonna see Kareem Hunt, and I see people, he's not gonna be the same guy. And him being at 80, I always say there's certain guys that even when they're 85, 90%, are going to be better than some other guys 100%. Believe me, Kareem Hunt's one of those guys. He's gonna get you some yards, okay? And I'm not expecting him to take off first for 80 yards or 70, whatever it may be. Okay. I want him to come in and contribute. And I know he will. So
yeah, that's the thing. It's like the expectations aren't high for me, but people have been knocking his numbers all year last year. The guy played with a sports hernia last year. The guy had 9 touchdowns last year. Yeah, sure. Like his numbers, yards per carry weren't great, but he still had 9 touchdowns. So if he could be our red zone back, our goal line back, 9 touchdowns ain't easy, JD. I mean, 9 touchdowns ain't easy, regardless where you are.
Not at all.
People are trying to make it seem like it's easy work to get 9 touchdowns. Like, okay, all right, he had a bad year, but he had 9 touchdowns. Okay. People will say anything and do anything to try to make their point make the point come across.
That's what I'm talking about. When you try to cut people's legs out from underneath them, he already had 15 touchdowns. Okay, well, you try to get just 9, okay, or 4. How about you start with that, okay, and then come talk to me.
Yeah, try to get 9 yards over a span of a season. Whoever this Twitter tough guy is.
Anna Sherry said, this conversation has me excited to see number 29 in action. I know he's on the practice now, but soon. Me too. Hey, Anna Sherry, me too. I'm excited. I'm excited. Whatever it comes, hey, listen, I'm patient. I'm a patient guy, okay? So if he don't come back this week, I mean, we may be overshooting it. I'm just like, cool. I ain't got no problem with that. Hey, man, take your time. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'll be happy as soon as he gets in there, though. Believe me.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. I'll be gearing up for that. And also, too, I don't know if you guys already did this, but when there was a chance that we were going to be looking at him, I went to all these different websites like the Depop, Mercari, eBay. People were selling Kareem Hunt stuff for next to nothing. And I got in. I got a few T-shirts for $5, JD, on Depop, and I'll be wearing it whenever it comes in. I'll be wearing my Kareem Hunt T-shirt that I got in. $5 for Kareem Hunt T-shirts. If I'm the seller of that stuff, I'm so mad right now that I didn't even realize that Kareem Hunt was going back to that team, and I was selling it for the next to nothing. But nonetheless,
it's all right.
That's a bargain bin steal. I call myself the Brett Veach of eBay. That's what I call myself. All right. So we're going towards so obviously talking about you kind of alluded to it, talking about this offense that we're going to be having without Pacheco. And while Kareem Hunt gets his legs back, while Carson Steele kind of figures out how to be the lead back, and Samaje Perine kind of Samaje is still learning the playbook, so that's also adds another little wrinkle into it as well. JD, a lot of experts, you got these fantasy experts, these NFL insiders, everyone's saying they're expecting Pat to kind of wear the cape and be that guy while Pacheco's out, and this offense kind of adjusting to being more of a passing attack over the next season, at least the next 6 to 8 weeks until these other guys, get in the role. But Jenny, how do you see the offense adjusting without Pacheco, without that kind of grittiness that we won't have without Pacheco? And do you see more of a passing attack where we're using the passing game to act as our run game, like the quick hitters to Rashid, quick hitters to Kelsey? How do you see the offense kind of evolving without Pacheco over the next 2 months?
I mean, that's who we are anyway. I don't think we're doing anything more than what we've been doing. We just know that Pacheco has earning getting the rock more than what he had been. Last year, we was trying to throw the football. We wasn't running the ball with Pacheco enough for me. I think for everybody else. Half the times we was in it, I was just like, man, run the ball. And we just didn't. And so we go back to our tendencies. We've seen it this past week with Cincinnati. As soon as we come out second series, we start throwing. We get away from the run game. Start throwing the football. So I hope we get a little bit more balance here. We understand that the run is going to open up the pass, and hopefully Atlanta's thinking, oh, yeah, well, Pacheco's not in there. Who are they going to give it to? The young guy, Steele? They're going to give it to Sanjay Perine? Who else they going to have in here? Hunt comes in. He just got off the couch. But all three of those guys can run and hit you in the mouth. They could get yards for you, and they get positive yards. He's a great running back. Somebody said that, we might have one of the best running back rooms in the league now. That's true. That is true. So Carson Steele is a steal for us. He's a steal. Okay, Steele is a steal. We didn't know his kid was going to do that here in the NFL. I didn't. Okay, he blew me away, and so I'm pleased. Sleep on him if you want to. Okay, and you're gonna find some cleat marks on your chest. All right, I'm just letting you know that, and you're gonna wake up with some of those little gray locks sitting on your ears and beard and stuff. Okay, after you done rolled you over. So do that if you want to. Okay, Sanjay Perine, as slick and smooth as he is, try to tackle him. Okay, that joker's a muscle bowling ball, and that joker start rolling, and he lays the wood on you, lower the head and that shoulder. Our guys know what it's about because he did a whole lot of that to us, so we know what he's got. We've seen it be done to us. He sent us home one year for the playoffs because of Sanjay Perine, so he still got that in him. So if you think for any reason that these guys are just not good enough to do it, then you're fooling yourself. But going back to what you were saying, let's say we don't run the football, right? Put it on Pat's shoulders. Well, we always put it on Pat's shoulders. Pat ain't got no problem. Pat got big enough shoulders to do anything right now in the NFL, right? He wants it. He's asked you to put him on his back, put it on his shoulders. What's different from Superman wearing his cape? Huh? Hey, it ain't no different. Pat been doing that for a long time. So that's nothing new. And the thing is, he got his sidekick with him. He's got his guy, Travis Kelsey. Okay? Kelsey, the first 2 games, hadn't really had too many, good games. But guess what? Teams know we can't let Travis Kelsey beat us. Pat knows, okay? Listening to what he said in the press conference, he knows he missed some throws to Travis Kelsey. He knows it. Travis Kelsey sitting there, and that's why he's a little frustrated. Like, hey, man, you ain't looking to me as much as you should. Just going back over the film, there was plenty of opportunities that Pat probably could have got some to Travis, right? But I know he likes his young guys. I know he likes his young guys, want to get those guys going. We got to get Travis going. Get him some easy, catches here and there. Like just a little turn over the ball, catch it, 5-yard out, whatever it may be, out in the flat. Different things like that, just to get him going. He's going to be fine. Now we got Rashid Rice, okay, one of the best younger coming wide receivers in the game. We got the fastest guy in the NFL, and Xavier Worthy, okay, who's going to be a lot better, who's going to learn from this past week. You don't get pushed out, okay? You got to have better technique. This is not college. You're going to get pushed around. So he's got to be ready. And so we're going to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. And what I do hope some other guys contribute. Okay, we got Justin Watson, we got Juju Smith-Schuster, we got McCole Hardman, we got Sky Moore. So we got guys that can play. We got guys that can ball. I like our wide receiver room. I like our tight end room. I didn't even talk about Noah Gray. I didn't even talk about Jared Wiley. We got guys. We got an offense. We got a good offensive line. Our left tackle had a little problems, okay? He was a rookie last week, okay? Going against probably the best defensive end in the game. This week's going to be a little different. I think he's going to be ready. And so he's going to come out there. He's going to be ready. He's going to get himself together. Okay. The guy's got his back. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. So if anybody just thinks we're going to go into Atlanta and it's going to be a slaughter or it's going to be a tight game or something like that, I think these guys understand what they need to do. So
I was watching, obviously, you and I talk about, we're both big fantasy guys, and I was looking at, different fantasy experts, what they were saying. And a lot of, I think Matthew Berry, for example, famous ESPN, now he's with the NBC Sports. He was saying of the two running backs that he thinks that Samaje Perine is going to have a bigger role than Carson Steele, because his reasoning behind that was they're going to go more into a passing kind of attack. He's a better blocker from the backfield, and more of a proven guy, a guy who's done it in the league for a long time, as well as being, he's been a starting running back in the league as well, whereas Carson Steele's is unknown variable. Obviously, Matthew Berry, I think he's a Commanders fan, so he has been watching the Chief games that we have going into preseason and whatnot. But do you think there's some legitimacy to that since Perine's been there, done that he may have the upper hand as far as being the guy they trust, at least being to start at least in game one, where they'll kind of lean on him a little bit more so than they would with Carson Steele, or they'll keep him in the same role that he has with Pacheco?
I would. This is just me as a veteran. Samaje Perine has a lot more experience. And so Carson Steele could come in and give him, and like I said, it could be 50-50, 60-40, whatever it may be. But you're going to see both of those guys. But I trust Samaje Perine as much as I trust Carson Steele. Carson Steele's a guy we know can run the football. So, but if I had to give a nod to a guy, I would definitely give a nod to Perine just because of his experience. So if that's the question, then sure.
Yeah. I do think if we are going to, and obviously not changing up the offense by any means, JD, but it feels like since the second half of the season where we did kind of go to Pacheco to be more of this kind of grind it out kind of team, where we kind of changed it up last year, it still seems like there was a bit of that, at least the first two games, where it's kind of like a more balanced approach going into the season at least. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I do think we'll see, like you said, I do think we'll see a little bit more of Kelsey than we have for the last two games as far as targets and catches. And I think, like you said, we're going to try to get him going as fast as possible, utilizing the quick game to, act as the run game. That's how it is. The quick game can be an extension of your run game, and especially without Pop, we're going to need to find other ways to kind of get that.
Yeah. I think you do have to get the ball out of your hand fast and early if you're going to do that. You're going to run some RPOs, of course, and see how it's going to look. But I think I've seen Amda Brown say something about maybe that they're hoping that Atlanta's not going to put Kelsey in the game plan because he thinks he's washed. So Atlanta's not going to fall for that. If jokers watch film, they seen that he was open. They see Pat was just missing him. So they're going to be ready. They know that 87 in any second could break out for 130 yards and 2 tubs. And they know they can't sleep on him. But like we were saying, they're going to make sure there's certain things that you do matchup-wise to get Kelsey the ball. So whether it be some screens, slants, some curls, I think that's what you have to do. So, like I said, once those guys get on the same page, man, they start cooking. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different ballgame. Now the entire field opens up. And I want to make that point as well. From what I've seen scheme-wise, schematically, what we were doing, I hope we changed up a little bit. Okay, so when I say that, I mean open up the whole offense. Let them cover every part of the field, vertically, horizontally. You got to cover it all. Okay, and Pat's got to take what the defense is going to give him. If he can't get it deep, go ahead, throw it short, right? And I think Pat he said just about that much. So, JD, you really summarized things very well. It is so annoying when some of these other podcasters and even media type tear into the Chiefs so badly. You know what? You know what I noticed? But I'm gonna tell you what I noticed from like national news. Some guys that play the game, I know because I got to cover so much that they only see snippets of different guys, right? They got to cover the whole basis. They don't quite know everything as far as the whole, the whole scope of everything that's going on with the team and guys. I do see that. So some things they do miss. Okay, you could just take from a clip and just try to make that no. Another thing is because I've been out there between the field. I know what it means. I've coached for 12 years. I played for 11, 12 years, and I know how that feels in between those lines. And so sometimes when guys are hard on each other, I know how in the course of a game how things work, right? It's going to be, there's up and downs. But the thing is, you can't be up and down. Your emotion can't be up and down. You got to be even keel the entire time. So things are going to go wrong. There might be some interceptions. There might be some turnovers. The thing is, you just got to be prepared. You got to be one snap and clear. You got to come back. You got to be ready. And so you're always focused in on the very next play. That's how it has to be. And so sometimes people get into it and it's like, oh, man, I don't understand. And I'm just like, man, that's football. That's what makes it such a great sport, because anything can happen. They say any given Sunday. And so when you sit there and you see these teams get beat, like San Francisco beat by Minnesota, Atlanta beats, Philly, you start to wonder. It's like, man, I thought these teams were supposed to be the ball burners and stuff like that. Ravens, they got 2 losses, right? But hello, this is the NFL. Everybody's good. And so if you sleeping on any Sunday and you think things are just going to go perfectly squeaky clean, then I got news flash for you. You just ain't been watching football. So I think sometimes people are temperamental. Some of these podcasters out here that talk about certain things, it's a little cringy. I heard somebody say cringy earlier. It's a little cringy to me when I hear some guys. I'm like, hey, he's okay. And I'm like, well, that just not how it works. But okay, go with it.
Well, that's amongst the reasons why we started Chief Concerns 4 years ago, Sarah. Because we felt there was a need, and there was a kind of a void in the Chiefs world as far as podcasters and channels. So that's why we started Chief Concerns. So there you go. So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, man. We're gonna give you the business. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty. And I'm gonna get to using this board a little bit more. I wiped it off. I was doing something early today, and I got some things on film. So we're gonna see some things out there.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So we seen. So real quick. DeMonte Greenby said, "I see it as any other job opportunity. Things got to work together. Yes, they do. This is all what football is all about. Guys can't be on their own page. He can't. When you see a guy that wants to do his own thing, it's to the detriment of the entire team. We seen it last week with Jamar Chase. That sucker got him out of, almost on a drive, going to the, could have scored. They could almost put the Chiefs away. And he started all that yapping and all that, and you get off me, and okay. Guess what? Yeah, you got to go for a field goal. Appreciate it, Jamar Chase. Appreciate it, okay? Because you just did your team in, okay? And if you don't think you did, you had. That was crazy. When guys act that way, okay, you make it all about you and the selfishness and the team aspect, everybody's going to suffer. Everybody's going to suffer. So we can't just have one Yahoo, man, that's going to, mess everything up. Can't be done. That's why I love the Chiefs so much, man, because they're such a unit, a team, and a group, and a family with each other, Marcus. That's what I love. That's what I love, man. And they play for one another. That's why you don't really see guys get on each other. You don't see too much of those things happening, right? And then when they do, it's kind of out of character. I'm just like, oh, what's going on? Like, ain't really had things work. So,
yeah, the fact that you can point to games in the past of when that stuff has happened shows you how much it doesn't happen at all. Like the Buffalo game last year, before that, when Travis did the fake flag taunting the referee, when I think that was the Alex Smith era. I don't think that was Mahomes yet. So it's not that
not that big a deal. About Bieniemy and Pat getting into it, but them hugging each other up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bieniemy and Tyree. Like you can almost name each one like when it comes up, because it's like what's going on? It's such a rarity, right?
Yeah, it's so out of the norm for us. Yeah, right. The last thing I just want to say on this topic is that with this passing attack, if we do kind of go more towards throwing the ball, this is that while it's new secondary, it's a pretty their safeties, Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates. That's two of the best in the game.
Man. Yeah, it's real deal. It's real deal. We got experience with those guys. Got experience with them. So I think how you attack these guys. Uh, I'm just going to think what you have to do. Okay, I think you still have to. You got to try them deep. You have to. You got to try them deep. Rasheed Rice on the outside catching at ball. Man, that's a beautiful sight. That is a beautiful sight. He can play on the outside, put somebody else in the slot to catch those balls. We got guys to play slot, man. We got slot guys. Okay, put Rasheed out there, man. Let him be the big body out there, if you will, sometimes. And I think that might be part of the key. So you can put Worthy out there, but I like having Rice out on the outside. Seriously, he's a strong guy, and he'll torch any corner. I don't think they realize just how good of a wide receiver he really is. Sure, if they don't understand, man, they better find out.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a good test. I mean, I will say, Philly without AJ Brown last year was able to kind of move the ball down the field on them pretty easily, I would say. Obviously, they didn't put up a lot of points, but they were able to move the ball. So, and we collectively have a lot more weapons than what Philly had last week going into playing Atlanta. So,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good battle for sure. All right, JD. So now we got to get to. I see my guy Mike Brandt's asking questions about old Kyle Pitts here. So I don't think I don't think even knew we were going to have a topic about this. But so obviously one of the main takeaways from last week's game, JD, was the fact that we couldn't cover tight ends at all. We were getting dominated by tight end 1, tight end 2, tight end 3, tight end 4 on Cincinnati, all their tight ends. But this week we're going against a guy who, for all intents and purposes, has had a lot of hype since he's come out. Hasn't really shown much in the NFL, but he's one of the more athletic tight ends in the league, I would say, based on his numbers and his measurables, and a quarterback who loves his tight ends. And I kind of went back and looked at Kirk Cousins' games against us in the Spags era of how he's utilized tight ends against us. So back in 2019 when Cousins played against us, he targeted his running backs and tight ends pretty much exclusively in that game. And against the Chiefs that day, Kyle Rudolph had 3 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. Irv Smith, late Chiefs tight end from this past offseason. Irv Smith had 4 catches for 33 yards. And then again, we played Kirk Cousins last year, where he primarily targeted his tight ends when our TJ Hawkinson, 5 catches, 51 yards. Josh Oliver, 1 for 15. Johnny Munt, 1 for 11. So all their, these guys are all averaging about 10 yards a catch, and that's. Yeah. But what does the defense have to do to adjust to guarding the tight ends, JD? Because it feels like it's just, well, if it's not running back, it's tight end. If it's not tight end, it's running back. I just feel we're getting cooked by running backs and tight ends every week.
Well, I think it's going to be one of our more difficult matchups. Probably, all year. And I think what you have to do is generate a pass rush for one. I think once you start getting on Kirk Cousins and blitzing him a little bit, that sucker folds up. He folds up. And I remember him being up in Minnesota. We did the same thing to him, and that's what he started doing. He started folding up a little bit. And really, oh man, you either had to do some bracket coverage, okay, doing some one-on-one with guys, and you really, I mean, it's going to be what it is. Your guy better than your guy, okay. You can run zone, you can try to run some man. We've done that. Man not necessarily works in our favor, so you might have to run a little bit of zone. I think we'll do a little bit more zone here. Combination coverage is something that you necessarily could do. So if you try to do a little bit of lurk, on a tight end, you could possibly do that too. So if you bring in, let's say you bring the safety down, okay, give lurk coverage, you could probably play underneath and over top of a tight end if that's where he decides to go. Kyle Pitts finally has gotten a real quarterback for him to throw to. But he's only got 6 receptions, I think. For 46 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
For as long as it's 12. And so, he's been one. I ain't picked him up in fantasy because that sucker ain't being who they thought he was, at least for right now. And he's just, he's another wide receiver playing tight end. That's who Cal Pitts is. So if you bring some heat, I think it's probably your best bet. And the reason I say that is it'll hold up some of those holes, man. It'll make sure you plug them. Plug the holes up. Don't let Bijan Robinson start getting going. That's another thing that we got to worry about. Drake London, you could get guys that could line up and go against him. Mooney is another guy that's got a lot of speed. He's a good receiver, but somehow he's not really doing well down there either. See, what's Mooney got right now?
Yeah, I think
So
he had a big week last week, but it was like 3 for like 60 or something like that last week.
Yeah, but he only got 4 catches out of 2 games. So I think a lot of it is if you get some pressure on Kirk Cousins, that way he has to throw it quick. You bring pressure, you run man, you can be in their face right now and be physical as much as you want to. I think that might have to be the key. I don't see Cal Pitts having a big game like Likely and what's his name?
Gesicki,
yeah. Won't crush a gate, Gesicki. Yeah, that's him. So
is that because you think there's going to be more of an emphasis on the tight end because you'll be getting cooked by tight ends? So do you think so? In that case, you think the running back out of the backfield may have a big game?
Because
I feel like it's a pick your poison every week. If we emphasize tight ends, we get cooked by running backs, and if we do the opposite, it's the other way around. That's kind of the way it feels like.
Well, that's what I say. You could double guys up a bracket on the inside. If you run some zone to get the linebackers out there in the flat for the running backs, we hold them to about 5 yards, 6 yards here and there. That's fine as long as they're not killing you. You'll be fine. I don't think you'll see something like we seen last week where he had 114 yards, passing to his tight ends. So I don't think that's going to be the issue. So,
yeah, their leading receiver this year is as far as catches is Bijan Robinson. So Kirk's checking down like a champ.
Down, man. We'll be ready for it. The thing is, if you bring pressure, somebody's going to be on him coming out of the backfield right now. So you gotta make sure if you coming, you got to hit home. You got to be on him. And so whoever has Bijan Robinson man has got to be right there in his hip pocket. So that's why when you run man to man, you don't let them give him time to throw the football. You got to bring something. Definitely bring pressure.
Is you played at Atlanta when you were in Philly and Kansas City?
Yeah.
Is that a hard place to play?
I've always had good games in Atlanta. Always. That's why I like going down there. So the crowd can get into the game. Yeah, definitely. This crowd is a little bit different than when I played. I think it's, a lot more from what they've seen, where they had a little bit of success, when they had, Matty Ice, TG was down there, and then, they had, the wide receivers, and, they had a chance, man. They had some chance to do some things. So I think they're looking to try to bring it back. But you always going to have a good crowd down in Atlanta. Always going to have a good crowd. It's a great atmosphere to play. Let me put it that way. A great atmosphere to play.
Yeah. Have a stop conversions on third down have done well so far. Third down, it's going to be key. And especially what I've noticed too, JD, and I don't know if it's coming because the Cousins coming off the Achilles injury. He was never really a mobile guy anyway, but it seems like he's not leaving that pocket. If you get him on the run, I think we have a good chance to kind of get him rattled.
Yeah, I think we do too. So I'll have as far as like what our game plan coming on Friday. Breaking everything down as far as like what we're gonna do, how we want to attack them even more. But I do see them definitely going into the game trying to get it to the backs and the tight ends. The thing is, how do you cover it, right? If you bring man, guys got to get home. They got to get some pass rush. They got to get there, and they got a good offensive line. Bijan Robinson has been running the football pretty hard, man. Them suckers been blocking. They do some really good double teams up front and those guys don't mind, letting him get out and get loose. So
Yep.
he to be honest with you, he's the key. I don't think you look to throw it for, the tight ends and stuff like that without giving it to big boy in the back. That's what's going to set every offense up anyway. You got to give it to the back. That's what you have to do. And Bijan Robinson is the key for them to get going. So,
yeah, stop Bijan and you stop Kirk.
He's a dangerous man. That sucker right there is he's a load. He's a load. He's good.
0-4. Kirk Cousins is 0-4 against Kansas City in his career. 0-2 when he was with Washington and 0-2 when he was with Minnesota. So now let's make it 0-5, 0-3 with all his teams that he's played on. It looks like you're gonna have a lot of people, and you might see Amda. Amda's gonna be at the game. JD, you need to link up with him.
I'm the Brown man. I'm gonna be down that way too, my brother. Be down that way too, man. So I'll let you wave at you, see where everybody is.
Yeah, it could be a good game. Good one to go to. All right, JD. So obviously we kind of talked about a little different stuff from offense and defensively. If you had to boil this game down to two takeaways, two keys for this game, what are the two keys that you want to see on Sunday night?
Two keys. Offensively, we got to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and that means Kelsey, Worthy. That means Rice. Okay, those are the three guys that's going to get us going. We got to get the balls in their hands. Number two, we got to make sure offensively we give it to the backs. We can't be shy to give it to Carson Steele or Sanjay Perine. We got to let those guys have their shine too. And I think those guys will do really well. They're going to give us something, and probably a little bit more surprised than what people think. And so if we do that, I think we're going to be fine. Going to the defensive side of the ball, you said it. One of the things that we must do, we got to stop the backs and the tight ends from eating on us. Okay. And the way you do that is if you go man, you got to bring pressure. If you're not, you go zone. You got to make sure you sit something that is, kind of short, catch everything in front of you, and then just go up there and make tackles. We do a great job of tackling. Last week, a couple of tackles we missed was kind of surprising. We need to get better at that too. But I think our key is going to be the trenches. We got to win up front. Okay. And I had a video that I want to show of my big boy Pennell, how you do play violent. And he played violent down there on the goal line. What we seen with the goal line stance with our Chiefs last week is what we need to do in the middle of the field, okay, in between the 30s. And so we do those things, we're going to be fine. So as long as we keep those linemen from going up on Bolton and our linebackers, we're going to be okay. We can't let Bijan Robinson, we can't let him start going. He started cooking, man, it's going to be a long day for us. So as long as we do that, plug the holes up, shed, throw, make tackles, be a menace, bite, chew, scratch, whatever you need to do, jump over the pound, make that happen. We got to win up front. That's what it has to be. And so those are the keys to the game. Now, the other aspect, okay, and I talked about this on Monday. We didn't do a very good job in our return game. We need to get some return yards. Help out in field position, okay? What I seen last on Monday was unacceptable. It was absolutely unacceptable. I'm sure they're talking about it now because there's a whole lot more yards out there that we needed to get on a return game, okay? And so as long as we do that, we're going to be fine. And I think we're going to beat this team. I don't know. We ain't doing predictions right now, are we?
No, that's next segment, but we can go right to it if you're ready.
Oh, well, okay. Well,
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we're going to game picks for our final topic tonight. So Sunday night on NBC, the Chiefs will travel to Atlanta, the ATL, to take on the Falcons. The Chiefs are currently a 3.5-point favorite at Atlanta. And so JD, and obviously, as I said, the Chiefs are 4-0 against Kirk Cousins all time, looking to go 5-0 against Kirk Cousins on Sunday, and this will be for his third team, so 3-0 and all three different teams that he's played for, facing the Kansas City Chiefs. JD, who do you have, and why?
So even without Pacheco, okay, we know our guy is down. Okay, I think they're going to be sleeping on our running game. I'm looking at us. To be 28-17, Chiefs. I was going to say 30. I was going to say 31-17, but down there, they'll give a little something. So I'm just going to say 28-17 Chiefs. That's my prediction. That's where I'm at.
How do you have the scores? Is it mostly Mahomes passing, two rushing scores for Carson Steele? How do you have the breakup?
I see 1 touchdown rushing and 3 passing touchdowns. So, I think all our guys Travis is going to have 1. Rasheed Rice is going to have 1, and Xavier Worthy is going to have another one. So that's what I look at. And then at fourth one is going to come in one of the running backs. So it could be Carson Steele or Perine. I think we get Perine in. So that's what I agree.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's kind of locked in with you, JD. Everyone's jumping on that with you. Well, Hazy has a 7-point game, so okay, it's a little close one there. Ruben DeCruz, 32-10 Chiefs.
Okay.
Our guy Charles Driver, 32-21. Daniel Akers, 31-21. Wendy, 25-21. Brennan, Mike, 29-27. The Kareem Hunt game. Uh-oh. Did he have Kareem Hunt getting a score? Ooh. Well, he's got to get pulled up first before you can say he's going to have the Kareem Hunt game.
Yeah. So
I do think it's funny if he's wearing number 29. I think the last time he played in Atlanta is when the famous Eric Berry pick 6, where he took it from end zone to end zone. So, and number 29. So, it's continuing a little legacy down there in Atlanta. But, Jay, you had 28-17, 45-point total score. The Vegas total is 46.5. So you're slightly under that. Second week in a row, you're slightly under it.
You know what, man? I'm going to switch it up. No, I'm gonna stay there.
What were you going to do, and what held you back from it?
Just had a feeling. I still think we get 31 points, man. I think we score 31. I see 31 out of us. I see 31. Our guys are going to be ready, man, for Atlanta. Atlanta is always a good trip. It's always a good trip. I think we're going to be ready. 31 points.
I will say, I don't know what the record is, but doesn't Kirk Cousins have a crazy prime time game, standalone game schedule where he's awfully shits the bed during these prime time games?
I don't know. I think I might have heard that before.
Yes, he's 3-10 in prime time games where he's a standalone guy.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so now he's 4-10 now because he won that game on Monday. So 4-10 now. He was 3-10 going to the Monday night game. He's 4-10 now, and after Sunday he'll be 4-11.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Another standalone game for Kirk Cousins. I don't know if they can do it 2 times in 1 week. You can't break that curse that easily.
I know. Somebody had 31-21. I like that 31-21 too.
31-21. Yeah, it's Daniel Akers. Danny. Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be I don't know. I feel like they should be 0-2 easily, JD. I feel like that team should be 0-2. And obviously, luck of the draw. People could say we should be 0-2 as well.
Hey, brother, listen. Hey, football. It's how it works, right? It's how it works. So it is what it is. People get upset about the call that they had with the pass interference, all that call and stuff like that. We won the game. A win's a win. That's how it works in the NFL. We don't take maybes or almost. We don't take those. They don't go on the record book. So.
Yeah. I mean, according to some Ravens fans and Lamar Jackson, Isaiah Likely's foot wasn't out of bounds. His toe wasn't out of bounds. So,
denial. It's all right. We know better. So, now it's gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be a good game. So I think with what we said, how we attack this team, we're gonna be all right. Okay. And I do believe that Spags is going to be in his bag. He's going to bring some pressure, man. He's going to bring some pressure. I think our defense, we felt like we gave a little bit too many points up. gave too many points up for a team like that. This is going to be a good challenge for our defense. It really is. So they got some good pieces. We know that. These guys are going to be ready. It's going to be ready. So,
yeah. As we have some questions here. On the Brown, what about the stat of Mahomes throws a pick in every primetime game? Well, that's an interesting one. I didn't, I mean, he was throwing 3 already through 2 games. So, what's another one at this point?
Yeah, I think Pat's going to look. He's going to protect the football. I think, throwing what he did last week, he's going to emphasize protecting the football. He's going to make some very, very quick, decisive decisions. So, Pat's going to have a good game. He's going to have a good game. He's going to get a whole lot of boos and a whole lot of haste down in Atlanta. It's going to be a whole lot of that. And all it's going to do is it's just going to get our guys ready. I'm trying to tell you, man, they're going to live off that. They're going to live off of it.
I believe it's his first regular season game in Atlanta. The only other game where he's actually had a game in Atlanta was that preseason game where he launched that bomb to Tyreek Hill. It was I think it was one of the first preseason games where he was going into the season as a starter. It was right through launched that bomb to Tyreek Hill in preseason. But so I think this is his first time playing there in a regular season action. So that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Well, so just a little nugget there. From Annabelle on Twitter. Hi, Annabelle. I don't think you're a newbie to the Chief Concerns chat. Welcome aboard. I might be late, but what you think about Pacheco? I'm devastated about having him out for 8 weeks. JD, thoughts on that?
Annabelle, I think that Pacheco needs to heal. Once he heals, he's going to be fine. He just needs to rest at this moment. He'll be all right. I don't think there's anything that we need to worry about. The surgery was successful, like they said, right? And so now at this moment, all Pacheco could do is heal up, come back, cheer for his team. That's what we needed more than anything else. And when he comes into, the training room or whatnot, guys can't wait to see him. I know it's going to be killing him, be out that long. It's going to kill him. But when guys are hurt, you got to keep those guys in it. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. So the guys ain't going to let him forget it, man. He's still going to be on the sideline, still going to be juiced up, doing his little locks and, still doing that when guys score. So that's what I love about it, man. They're a really tight-knit group and room. He's going to be fine, though. He's all right. He's all right. He's devastated more than you are. So he'll be fine. He'll make it. You will, too. We all are.
Yeah, we'll make it. And having Kareem Hunt will make it even easier, too. So this is an interesting one. So Mike Brennan, we were talking about moments in the Chiefs' kingdom where we kind of, we remember certain things. Mike Brennan brought up the push from Kelsey to Andy Reid in the Super Bowl. And Met fan forever. I don't know if he's a Chief fan or maybe a Jets fan. But Mike Brennan, yes, I think the underutilization of Kelsey is directly a result of that push in the Super Bowl. This is Reid's way of showing Travis he's not going to take shit from him. JD, what do you think about that one?
That's exactly correct. Sure it is. That's exactly why. That's exactly what happened, Met fan forever. Exactly. No, man. I know you. If you're being serious, it's real funny. But at that, it's just not even it. It's not even it. If anybody, 2 guys are on the same page. Andy wants to get the ball to Travis as much as he possibly can, and I guarantee he's emphasizing it this week. So he's probably said it to Pat, like, look, you missed him a few times. You got to get the ball to him, okay? It's due. We need to get 8-7 going. So the number one Swiftie fan, feed him the ball. Feed him the ball.
Mike Brennan, anyone here a window for when Charles Menahu could come back? I mean, I think we're still looking at the same midseason timeline. I mean, I don't think there's any update on that.
Yo,
I mean, his videos when he showed him working out, getting ready for the season. I mean, he looks like he's primed and ready to go right now. But like, obviously, he said game shape's a little different than throwing up weight in a weight room and stuff. But I mean, it looks like the timeline they projected midseason. It looks like it's going to be that or somewhere around that timeline.
I'll tell you who I want to see. Nobody named him yet. It's Cameron Thomas.
I know. That's an interesting one. I don't understand.
I tell you what, this bud better be in this week. We need to generate some pass rush, and he's going to be the perfect suit for that. So I don't know. Maybe they was trying to get him acclimated too, but we need to see him this week. We need to see him this week, Marcus. All right. So Cameron Thomas, Cam, we need to see you, brother. We need to see you. I don't know what's going on, know what the big deal, what's happening, but we brought you here for a reason. So let this guy play.
And this is maybe useless information, but Cam Thomas, also same agent as Kareem Hunt's agent. And, we were able to hammer out that deal to get him, and then we just trade for Cam Thomas. And it's interesting because a lot of people forget that we trade for Cam Thomas right before the season started. I feel like that's a name everyone forgot. And it's like, that guy showed some juice, coming from Arizona. And, like, we needed that kind of, that motor, that high energy motor guy coming off the edge. And we haven't seen it from FAU. I mean, I barely even seen him out there. I don't even notice if he even gets in reps. I mean, it's kind of crazy to be quite honest with you.
Me either. I'm gonna leave that alone. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with FAU, man. I don't know why it seems. He looks just a little tad undersized out there. He's just kind of like just getting, he's, getting him inside. He can't really get away from any of those things. So I don't know. I have no idea. But, he's 6'4", 255, so he's kind of undersized, man. Supposed to be a guy that rushes off the edge with speed and whatnot, man, and just hadn't quite seen it. But
yeah, and also too, I don't know. It feels like there's a bit of like, and you obviously probably dealt with a lot of guys who were like this, obviously, and you probably blocked a lot of those guys. It feels there's a little bit of he's a little bit timid out there, and and obviously that stems from confidence, right? Not having the confidence, but like. I feel like, as an edge rusher, it's like, balls out. You see ball, go get ball. Like, just play, just go out there and play free. And it feels like he's not playing free, and it's just kind of weird, because, like, he seemed like he was more of a polished guy when we drafted him out of Kansas State. It wasn't like, oh, he could be like a Pro Bowl, perennial Pro Bowler, but it was like you're getting a solid professional who can come in and contribute right away. And it feels like he's become more of a project than we initially drafted him to be. And that's kind of surprising to me.
Well, yeah, me too. So, you had to worry,
JD? Do we lose JD? We might have. JD, I think your signal's lagging, buddy. Okay. All right. We're getting some technical difficulties here, guys. Okay. So JD's gonna come back on here. Okay. All right. So I'll try to man the mic while JD gets that figured out. So FAU needs to show up. I think it's Cam Thomas time. Yeah, I think we brought him in for a reason, and it's a guy that everyone kind of forgot that like we had, and at some point I think we need to kind of get him in there. At least for be a rotational guy for the time being, to have him kind of getting in and out. Yeah, because so far I'm not trying to knock any of these guys either. And between Cam Thomas, between King Felix, there he is, JD.
Yeah, all right, a little weird. I don't know what happened, man. So. Maybe that's what we were talking about. Somebody didn't like that. It's like pull the plug. Don't keep talking about FAU like that.
The puppet masters that pull a string there.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, that's. I don't know. It's a head scratcher. Man. But I don't know. Hopefully, we do see a Cam Thomas this now. I do. Hope we see him. We see him.
Yep. Appreciate the contribution there, Rob. And then we got one.
Rob, appreciate you, brother.
we got one question here from, well, not a question, but mostly it's prompting a question. It's Wishy Hall. I think Andy will put Kingsley back out there. So yeah, today he also said that it's between him and Wanye are kind of taking turns as the reps for the left tackle. Who do you think is going to be the one who goes out there Sunday?
I'm laughing at I'm the Browns and JD. That's the old school way to get a bathroom break. I do that on Zoom all the time. I wasn't getting one. I would have told you, but I didn't. So that's funny. I've done it before, though. I'm the Brown. I have.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. Like I don't know what happened, but I think Andy, man, he'll. I'm gonna leave it on those guys, man, to figure it out. I think you got to give King Suma, let him come back, try to redeem himself. If everything's on the up and up, sure, why not start him? And if we know that things doesn't look as good as they should, you got to make a change. But if you do two changes in 2 games like that, why you guys got to be the starter? That's how it's got to work. You shouldn't. That shouldn't happen twice in 2 games. One time is two times too many. So, but hopefully this is a refresher to get him back on track, and I think he will. I think he'll be fine. He'll be all right. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Do you worry about confidence issues? We're talking about confidence. We were talking about with FAU's confidence. Do you worry about confidence issues if he does play and then they pull him again? It's like, how is that supposed to be your starting left tackle of the future when you're pulling him in and out? I mean, how is a guy going to get more reps? How's he going to learn? I mean, if you're going to continue to pull him out of it like a carousel every game.
You got to be very, very careful with a guy like that, with his confidence. It doesn't take away from what he can be in the future. We're just talking about right now. His rookie year, shoot, guys struggle. It's understandable. When you're rookie, you're going to have times ups and downs as a starter. I started my rookie year, and I became the full-time starter, I think, after the 2nd game, 3rd, but I went in knowing I was going to be, kind of the starters. Guys got to be prepared for those things. But, tight end's a different kind of rotation. And so the difference here, there's a difference. The difference is I had 2 guys ahead of me, one that played 13 years, another one played 10. Left tackle, we only got 2 guys that's only been one here, rookie and a dude's 2nd year. That's who we got. So what's the Tasia talking about? Should we call him Princely? No, man, we got to keep King Suma. We call him a prince now. Like, now you're a prince. You really start messing his confidence.
You're Princely. I just got it. Yeah. I just got it.
Yeah. I thought he was talking about calling what's the name? Prince.
FAU.
Yeah, no. Tubaga. Who was he had here? The Prince. We had him here at tackle. I don't know.
King Taco. Not King.
It's Prince.
Yeah, Prince.
Wagyu. Yeah. So
yeah, Princely. Yeah, I tell you, until he goes full time Princely, Princely Sumatea.
Yeah.
But yeah, about time's right. People set rookie expectations too high. I mean, like I said the other day, people are already talking about him, and like he's the next Willie Roaf, like he's the next Eric Fisher. It's like, I mean, no, let him be King Suma, and let's let him get to that point where we're calling him the future left tackle of the Chiefs.
Right. Look, as a rookie, you're gonna come in with high expectations. You know it. You already know. If you're gonna be the guy, and they tell me you're gonna be the guy, you already know what the expectations are for you. And so, some guys sink or swim. I mean, shoot, this is a business. That's how it works. That goes into should we had gotten a veteran left tackle just in case something like this happened. So, I don't know,
Yeah.
Mike. Might have been some phone calls going out. Could have been. Brother.
I think this game tells you if there is kind of this like weird like swap substitution of the left tackle thing, and then
I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be fine. No, I think he's going to be all right. Sure, if you go in the game thinking that might you had to do that again, then you just start Wanye. You will have to. You're going to have a whole different problem on your hands. But I mean, shoot, you had, Hendrickson.
it's true.
Shoot.
He's going to get some good guys on the other side of that game for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tasia says, I will say the growing pains he's showing already is a prime reason why all three of us thought we'd bring in a vet before camp. Which is true. Yeah. And they're still out there. Bakhtiari is still out there. Donovan Smith's still out there. These veteran LTs are still out there. So, yeah.
And that's precautionary. It's precautionary. The thing is, we said this before, that if you start to test a guy early, he's going to be better on the back end. That's what you hope he's getting his experience and doing all the hard stuff now, right? Go against all the hard guys you could possibly do the first few weeks of the season. That's what we're seeing. We're going to see that. That's the schedule shows. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at New Orleans, San Fran, Vegas. It's going to be a buzzsaw coming in here in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it's going to be a gauntlet of a season, regardless if you're playing against the top of the top or not. You're playing for a guy who's trying to, but get another paycheck. He's going to give it all, his all out there. So, I mean, it's tough. All right. So, we got one more question in here before we head out the door.
Yeah, Judon ain't no slouch. Yeah, Judon he's
a baller. Timmy G 123. What's up, Timmy G? Hey, all. Who is RB3? We kind of went over that earlier on the show, JD, but I'm going to throw it out there to you. It's Kareem Hunt, Perine, Steele, and CEH. All four of them are out there. How are you when that does happen? If that does happen, how are you kind of managing that if you are in charge of that RB room?
Well, I think it's going to be Perine, Steele, and Ingram right now until we know for a fact that Kareem Hunt's going to be in there.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. And guys got to earn their stripes. Same thing like Kareem's got to earn his stripes, man. We got to know where he is. And so he's got to work into this offense. He has to. And if we work him up to speed faster, then he'll start propelling him as a guy, I believe, in the looks, and just running back by committee. All these guys are good guys, man. They're all good running backs. So,
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with Kareem Hunt, but for now, like he said, it's Keontae Ingram, it's Samaje Perine, and Carson Steele, and not in any order, just the three guys that are going to be active on Sunday night as of right now. I know Andy Reid said there's potential of Kareem Hunt playing Sunday, but I don't think that's happening.
Tasia said Perine number one, JD. I would. Tasia, I would. I'd put him at number one.
Yeah,
him and Carson. They shoot. They 1 and 2. They can switch. You can switch them either way you want to. But I like Perine. Perine is a guy that has a lot of experience. Carson Steele he's a good change of pace. He's a good back. Perine to give you a whole much more problems. You could start screens with him from off the rip. That's where he's good at.
But this is the one thing. Stage and I had this argument earlier. That's why he's asking this. Because I was on the other side of this. Right. I knew he was going to ask you that. But so between the two of them, so at the end of that game, we were handing the ball off to Carson Steele to try to milk that clock at the end of the game. He was the one in there. Obviously, P-Ryan did come in. He threw that Mahomes threw that crazy pass. P-Ryan almost got picked by one of the, I think, Hubbard or one of the DNs over there. But luckily, P-Ryan manned that catch. It was a great catch, saved the game.
Heck
but,
yeah.
But the handoffs were still going to Carson Steele, and with last week, P. Ryan still said he's still learning the playbook. So it's like, do you I mean, do you lean more heavily with Carson Steele for that? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the way the game script it went last week, it was mostly Carson Steele, not much of Perine. So wouldn't that by default go to Carson Steele getting the bulk of the touches? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Perine's got a little bit more versatility than Carson Steele does. That's the reason I say that. So that's what I was saying. Like on first down, you can run a screen with Samjay Perine. You see it like how he snatched the ball out of the air? You know, we did the one flare route to him. He just barely missed with the one arm. So that he gives that element that he can do is he can catch the ball out the backfield. Does a very good job of doing that. So yeah, Tasia said, who is that? You picked him up on your fantasy?
No, he said he's asking you. He says, "Is that? Are you saying Perine because you picked him up in fantasy?"
No, I didn't have. No, my backs have been killing it in fantasy. My guys,
you haven't hit with the injury bug yet. My teams are all
no.
I'm flailing in week 2.
This is problem is teams will find out very quickly that when Steele is in there, we're running. They will not know when Perine. Yeah, that's true, and that's the versatility he has. So, not saying that we will. Hopefully, teams will think that it Steele's in there and we do pass it. So then he get a chip and run to the flat. He can catch the ball out of the backfield too. I just don't think he's as better at than Perine at it. You know, so
yeah. I mean, I trust the rotation. Look at the rotation. He may stay with Perine for third downs primary, but he splits first down snaps with Steele. I think however they handle it, I'm going to trust it 100%. They have a plan. They like Carson Steele. They like Samaji. Yeah, and also too, there's another thing. Kareem Hunt was available, and we chose to go. We tried to trade for Perine, and then we end up signing Perine. So obviously they hold Perine to a higher standard than maybe some people may think out there. So they like Perine, tried trading for him, and they signed him while Kareem Hunt was still out there. So they still seem a little bit higher than the other guys. Although, and I get it, we have nostalgia. We love Kareem Hunt. We want this marriage to work out the second time, but they see Perine in a higher light, I think, as far as how they see him on this team. So I think Perine is going to get a lot more touches than some people think out there.
Yeah. So Reland 22 says Carson has caught the ball out of the backfield numerous times at Ball State. Go check some film. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that he's caught the ball out the backfield. I'm saying we seen Samjay Perine do it against us effectively. He's done it effectively for a number of years in the NFL at a high level. So this ain't Ball State. He's gone against guys that it's a little bit different. So I'm not saying Carson can't do it, but if I'm trusting somebody to catch the ball out of the backfield, I'm going to do it on a guy that I know has been doing it against high-level defenses and players. So,
yeah, and I'll say this as far as what Carson Steele did in college. I see this a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, he was a great receiver in college." I mean, he didn't really catch the ball that much in college. Ball State, first year 12 catches. Second year, 29 catches, and then his final year at UCLA, 17 catches. So it wasn't like he was this PPR, this pass catching monster out of the backfield. Yes, he did it, but that wasn't his thing. So that's one thing.
Man. Yeah, look, right. You politic for him all you. That's fine. I'm telling you, if the reason we brought in Samjay Perine and we didn't go after McKinnon is because Samjay Perine was that guy that could do all those things that we felt the other guys couldn't do.
Yep,
that's good. So.
Yeah. Like Taylor says here, the pass blocking is the big key here, and that's what Perine is amongst one of the best in the league at. So, don't want to get our golden goose killed, as Taylor says, which is 100%.
Sorry, can't do that. Can't do that.
Gotta protect him.
You can't compromise if you have Steele in, and if what's name's having a bad day either. So we ain't gonna put it on them. They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. But that's why I said I like Perine. Oh, yes, for sure. But the national consensus is he's just a 2-3 back. Just might surprise us. We've seen him what he could do in preseason. We've been giving him his praise and flowers. Reland 22.
100%.
We've been talking about how good Steele is.
Yeah, Remington Steele, baby.
Yeah, we ain't saying that the man's ready for the bench. We ain't saying that at all. We saying, should it be 60-40? It could be 50-50. However they divvy it up. But we're saying the versatility of certain guys, certain skill set guys have than other guys, right? Carson Steele is more north and south runner. He can do a lot of good things. That was very shocking. But there's also something that we're talking about. Samjay Perine is more apt at doing, right? And catching the screens over the football, draw plays. We've seen him do it all. We've seen him do it all on us. We've seen him run over our safeties and our linebackers effectively. And if I said this myself, if we had a chance to get Samjay Perine, I was like, we need to go get this guy.
Yeah.
When he came, I was like, we need to go get him.
No, I remember we were texting about it.
Dude, yep. Lo and behold, Marcus, here he is. He's here. So
yeah, I think there's two arguments here where I would say, yeah, I get it. Like the Perine, he's been around the block. We can trust him to be the guy when Pacheco's not there. Because Steele's still he's new. He's still pretty green. And I gotta say this though, Andy, he's offensive mind. These guys like throwing out these toys people have never heard of before, right? And to say like, look, this is a guy I found, undrafted guy. Look, boom, I had a 7th round running back who became our starting guy and dominated. No one thought that could happen. I'm bringing out this guy's Carson Steele guy. Look, I'm gonna feature him Sunday night in front of the world, and I'm gonna feature him. So I can see that too. These guys like to show that they like to show JD that they can, they can make any guy, and they're making Carson Steele be that guy on prime time. And I can see that as well. I mean, that's kind of how these guys work sometimes. They want to be able to say, look what I did with this undrafted guy, made a feature him on Sunday night. Boom.
He's earned a following, and I like everything about Carson Steele.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when Steele starts running dudes over, we all have a change of heart.
I mean, ain't no change of heart. We're
fans of him.
I don't know if people we like Carson Steele. We like him, So yeah, I got you. I got you. Reland 22. I wasn't saying that towards y'all. It's nothing but love here, brother. Same thing here, man. We saying like, look, we support our guys. We support Carson Steele. But if there's guys that could do certain things better than other guys, you got to say it, right? There's nothing, contentious or negative about that. So,
Taja says Perine was getting major playing time with Mixon in his prime pass catcher who can always also run between the tackles. So yeah, I mean, he has carved out, and that's also another argument too to say maybe Steele does get the early down work, and they keep Perine in that role. They kind of have that he's carved out for himself, being that same third down back role, while Steele gets the those other snaps. So I mean, I don't know. We'll find out Sunday. So I mean, it's all speculation as of right now.
I say you mix it up. Sure, why not? Throw them both in there.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. All right, guys. Well, that does it for us. We had a lot of comments tonight. There's right now, JD. I'm looking at the amount of people who are in the chat right now or are watching this video right now. We are at 347. We upticked about 385 earlier. We have about 347 people on Twitter and YouTube watching this right now as we speak.
Really?
Yes,
What's up, everybody? What's up to everybody out there, man? So I'm glad y'all came out to come check us out over here at Chief Concerns. We give y'all, some of the goodness out here, just talking about the team. We get down to the nitty gritty, trying to harder the matter. About guys, how they feel, and the players. So if it's your first time coming, welcome. Hope y'all come back. This is something I think we're going to start getting into a little bit more, right, Marcus, of doing. But you give a shout out to the ones over here in the comment section. They always say, Randy Conley, Raylan 22, good seeing you. Appreciate everything you said to us. We love the conversation. We love it. Daniel Anchors, New, good seeing you. New snuck in here, didn't he? New snuck in.
Yeah,
he was Snake. Yeah, Mike Brennan, I'm the Brown. Tage, always good seeing you, my brother. We'll see you on Friday for sure. Kathy Welch, Charles Driven, Nana Sherry, JC. Let me see who else we got. Sweetie, Ghost, Moho, Risen, Timmy G, 123. Let me see who else we got. Witchy Hall, About Time. So Andre Chenault, Daniel Akers. This is all the usual suspects, people that, always follow us, man. Hazy, good seeing you as well. I think I've seen Ghost Rider in here. Rob Miller, appreciate the support. Monte Green Beans. I'm trying to think, who else did we get?
Well,
Who else
see,
did
we had a question from Annabelle, one of our new viewers from Twitter, from X. Thanks for this. I'm new, so let me know how often you are live. So we are live Monday, the day after the game. We are live Sunday post-game shows. We are live Wednesday night, and we are live Friday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for the post-game shows. Post-game shows are they range from whatever time we play. So post-game right after the game. So, and that's on Bleacher Report, but also be on our YouTube channel as well, the post-game shows. But everything else, 8 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then post-game shows.
Yeah. And we all talking Chief stuff here. It'll be here. We talking Chief stuff. Okay. Everything that we deal with, guys, talking about, whatever y'all want to talk about and ask, please do. We love the engagement. We love the engagement. Ruben the Cruz, good seeing you. Got to say one more time to our girl, Wendy, happy birthday, sweetie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Wendy.
It. Everybody tell everybody, Wendy, happy birthday. Okay. She's part of our Chief Concerns family. Illy Beeman, good seeing you too, my man. Everybody, Family Man was in here too. Look, you know how it is. If we need to say your name and whatnot, we appreciate everything. Appreciate y'all coming out, coming and seeing us. Look, we love you. You know how we feel about y'all, man. Chief Concerns family, Chiefs family. We love y'all. Y'all take care. God bless. We will see y'all on Friday for the betting show. So y'all guys, gals, y'all take care. Be safe. Okay. Marcus, love you, my brother.
Love you too, brother. All right, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode. We will see you guys Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.